You are listening to the Leadership of the Leaf SideBar episode. Join Austin and Dice as they put some smoke in the air.
Hello, everybody. This is David Blanco from Blanco Cigar Company. We'd like to wish everybody a very happy Veterans Day. We hope you're spending it with your family. And please say a prayer for all our troops out there who are defending our country and our way of life. I'd also like to say thank you to Leadership of the Leaf for everything they're doing. And Godspeed. Continue to stay smoky, my friends.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Leadership of the Leaf SideBar Edition.
SideBar.
My name's Austin.
And I'm Dice.
And Dice, what are you smoking today on this SideBar Edition?
Well, this SideBar Edition, I have opted to smoke a cigar from a veteran-owned company, Blanco Cigars.
Okay.
The cigar I'm smoking is called Primo's Estate Selection. I wanted to get above and beyond, but they were sold out.
What?
And considering that it's a veteran cigar, I'm going to drink an XO with it, sir.
There you go. I like it. Fair enough. I am smoking an All Saints cigar, St. Francis.
Oh, All Saints.
All Saints cigars. Now, Mickey Pegg is not a veteran, but his good friend who convinced him to start the company, Frank Leo, is an Air Force Academy graduate and veteran. So I'll count it as a veteran co-founded cigar company.
That works for me.
I'll take it. So we've talked about it. It's a Veterans Day sidebar.
Oh.
Or should I say Armistice Day?
Armistice Day.
So, Armistice Day, which...
Whoa.
What did I forget? I forgot something. What I forget? Oh, I know what I forgot.
All right. Tell everyone.
I am drinking a nice Glenfiddich with my cigar. 12 year.
Perfect.
12 year. Glenfiddich 12 year.
Should have been 11. Should have been 11 year.
I got as close as I could. They don't make the 11. They make the 10 and the 12. So I went to 12.
All right. Fair enough.
So,
okay.
All right. Armistice Day. Yeah. So
what the hell is the Armistice Day?
Major hostilities of World War I were formally ended at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918. So on November 11th, 1919, President Woodrow Wilson issued a message to his countrymen on the first Armistice Day with a speech. Quote, "To us in America, the reflections of Armistice Day will be filled with solemn pride in the heroism of those who died in the country's service and with gratitude for the victory, both because of the thing from which it has freed us and because of the opportunity it has given America to show her sympathy with peace and justice in the councils of the nations." And Armistice Day was renamed to Veterans Day in 1954.
Oh, so before 1954, it was Armistice Day. After 1954, Congress signed it in to become Veterans Day.
Yes.
Some things that people may not know about Veterans Day is legally 2 minutes of silence is recommended to be observed at 2:11 p.m. Eastern, which marks the 11th hour.
Sure, in 2:11, 14:11 in veteran time.
Okay, but I did say p.m. So, I mean, I have to keep it.
I'm just saying.
Both, yeah.
Why not 11:11?
Because when World War I, when they was doing it, it wasn't on American soil. It was over in the European soil.
Okay. All right.
So it was 11 there, but
Got
it was 2 here. Two on the eastern side.
Got it. Okay. Well, it's
adds up, right?
Yeah, it does.
Up. Okay.
That adds up. I'll give it to you. The math's up. So, what is a veteran? In the English language, a veteran is used to describe a person who has a significant amount of experience in any service-oriented field, However, the term is most commonly understood in the context of the military. And today, we will focus on U.S. military veterans.
Well, yeah, I know you heard sports announcers be like, oh, he's a veteran in the game, and his veteran is going to rub off on the younger players and all that stuff. So, of course, he's an expert at his field. But you probably heard, especially around the November timeframe, when someone's referring to a veteran, majority of the time they're referring to a military service member.
Yes.
According to Title 38 of the U.S. Code of Federal Regulations, the term veteran means a person who has served in the active military, naval, air, or space service who was discharged or released under conditions other than dishonorable. So people that just decide to, finish their term, or someone that retired and was finished honorably.
As long as they're not
as
long as they're not dishonorably discharged for breaking the rules, regulations, whatever it is, they're going to be considered a veteran. There's 4 types of veterans, and they're all considered veterans. So there's veterans by military branches. Most veterans are members of a specific branch of the United States Armed Forces: Army, Air Force, Navy, Marine, Space Force. Newly formed Space Force.
My dad is an Army veteran. That's how most
Korean War
refer
veteran.
to. Nope. That's a different type, sir.
Is it? Like a
Yes,
combat
sir.
or a war veteran? Or
Yes,
veterans
sir.
who have served on active duty at any time during war or conflict are also called war veterans. Like the Vietnam vets.
Yeah. Or a Korean War vet, World War II vet.
Desert Storm, Desert Shield vet.
All those Operation Enduring Freedom. There's also the others that didn't that may not was able to finish their service. Disabled veterans. If a veteran acquires the illness or injury caused by their service in the armed forces, or if an existing condition was made worse because of the veteran service, they are considered a disabled vet.
Yes.
And sadly, these are the ones that, I got mortared attack, or there was an IAV or something on when we was traveling, or whatever the reason.
Yep.
But they're considered a disabled vet. I salute all of them.
Yeah, one of my tattoo artists is a disabled veteran. He was a explosive ordnance disposal technician, and he got blown up 4 times.
Well, yeah.
He's disabled now.
Does he have all his fingers?
He does.
Okay, good.
But he walks with a limp, so
okay.
he gets tired. But there's also the last type of veteran is a veteran of services other than the armed forces. In fact,
wait, what?
Yeah, in fact, the armed forces are part of an even broader category of service known as uniformed services, which, along with the armed services, include the Commissioned Officer Corps of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration (NOAA) and the Commissioned Corps of Public Health Service (PHS), who have served full time in any of these corps, are also veterans. I'd like to also include the Coast Guard, because they aren't technically part of the Department of Defense. They're Department of Homeland Services.
I did not know that, my good sir.
Yeah, they are not DOD. They are DHS.
We're just dropping knowledge of everyone. Look at that. I'm always learning, sir.
That's the important part of life.
Well, there's a few cigar companies out there that are veteran on. One is Blanco Cigars, as I'm smoking it now. Southern Draw is another popular one that we both generally like.
Yes.
Echelon Cigar Company. It's fulfilled by Blanco. Hopefully we'll have an interview coming with Drunken Chicken. That's also a veteran-owned company. Warfighter Tobacco, we have smoked that on air before. That's a veteran-owned company. And Founders. I'm very confident there's many more out there, but that's what I found on a quick little research.
The Blanco Cigar Company was founded in the United States in 1998 by David Blanco. He served in the United States Army for over 30 years in many capacities, both active duty and reserve, including 18 months in support of the global war on terrorism, Operation Enduring Freedom, that involved an extended deployment to Afghanistan while his father was serving in Iraq.
His father's retirement from the company in 2018. David then took over as president of Blanco Cigars from his father. And his father has 27 years of service himself. As of right now, David remains an active member as a commissioned officer in the United States Army Reserve.
Wow. Owning a cigar company and serving as an active commissioned officer in the U.S. Army Reserve. That's pretty solid.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of meeting David actually quite a few times. One, I bumped into him in the cigar lounge. Like, well, hey. And then, of course, TPE. I'm looking forward to meeting him again at TPE. He's always been friendly, as a straightforward guy. And I remember when I pitched him our podcast idea, like what we was going to do, because we were still, I think it was season 1. We only had a few episodes in. And he was like, that is amazing. That's great. I don't think it's been done before. And I wish you guys nothing but the best. So
yeah, we are going to TPE again this next year, coming up in January.
Yeah,
I'm actually going to be able to make it out for that one. I'm stoked to be able to meet veterans of the industry and veterans of armed services that are in the tobacco industry now, and just chat with them. These people are amazing people that have laid down and sacrificed so much of their personal time, energy, all in the name of keeping us safe. You can't thank them enough.
Was it cigar for the troops, cigar for soldiers?
Cigars for warriors.
Yeah, they have a booth, and it's always great talking to those guys. I'm looking forward to when we actually go out there. That way you can have a conversation with them, and you can actually meet some of the veterans in the industry that I have met before. And every single time I mention you, I mention the podcast, I mention everything that we do, and handshakes, handshakes and pats on the back. They really enjoy the idea of what we do. As we get further and further on with our podcast, our venture that we're doing here, we're going to have more and more people in the industry listening, and looking forward to actually having them on air at some point in time. I mean, what better leadership qualities to get than from a military person, a veteran?
Yeah, absolutely. These are people who undergo years and years and years of training to become leaders, managers in their own aspects. They have to manage and lead various services throughout the world to make sure our military and our country stays safe. And these are people who are ready to drop everything at the drop of a hat to turn their life upside down to go do whatever their country asks of them.
Did you know that there was 4 different types of veterans? I'm gonna be honest, I did not know there was 4 different types.
I mean, a couple of them didn't take me by surprise. I will say that the veterans of services other than the armed services, like NOAA and PHS, I never considered them veterans. I always considered my interpretation of the word veteran was always somebody who served in the United States Armed Forces, right? Coast Guard, Space Force, Air Force, Navy, Marines, and Army. And those were always the ones that I just considered vets, right? Now, there's been people, I'm sure, that have served in the military that have never served in a deployment, that have never had to deploy, never had to leave their families. And then there's those ones that go off to war for 6 tours in Iraq and 3 tours in Afghanistan, and then they come home and they're like, yeah, I'm done. Yeah. And they're done after 6 years or something, and they're like, yeah, I'm just tired. I can't keep this deployment up. And I totally get it. To be that much time away from your family and that much time away from your loved ones and serving our country it's a big toll on people, I'm sure.
Yeah, I look at a lot of these like veteran-owned companies, and I have a high regard or high respect for these individuals because I don't know. I mean, just to go through what they have been and then to come out and start their own business. I'm pretty sure they got the mindset and the leadership and the fortitude to make it happen. I don't know. Salute to all the veterans that make it happen especially when they come back from something like Afghanistan, and like you're a tattoo artist. I mean, he's been through a lot. He's been blown up 4 times, but yet he's still thriving. He's still doing what he's doing, and now he has something to keep him busy. It's a job that I'm pretty confident he enjoys.
I mean, he does great work. I've been tattooed by him. My wife's been tattooed by him. Your wife has been tattooed by him. You know, he enjoys his work. He's good at it. And it's definitely one of those things that I just, I applaud him for every time, because, I'm sure waking up in the morning for him is not the easiest thing. I know I've gone out to dinner with him, and there's certain tics that I you kind of pick up on. And it always kind of makes you wonder what they went through. But like one of his tics is he can't sit with his back towards the door. And you kind of sit there and go, why can't you sit with your back towards the door in a restaurant? It's not that big of a deal. We're like, no one's going to bust in and do anything. You always say that until it happens, right? But that's just one of his things. He goes, no, I can't sit with my back towards the door. I won't do it. So, I'm like, okay, well, I'm comfortable with it. So I'll oblige you and let you sit facing the door.
Yeah, there's times where I've talked to a few, and like 4th of July, 1st of January, New Year's. I guess that's what most people call that, right?
Yeah, usually.
Yeah, the explosions and some of the fireworks nowadays sound like mortars, sound like whatever, and I can clearly see like PTSD and stuff like that. So, I mean, just to have a day to honor a veteran, they go to Golden Corral and get a free meal.
Go to Outback and get a bloomin' onion.
Yeah, Starbucks and get a coffee. I mean, those are small things. Only one day out of the year that these companies do this for. I appreciate the companies that actually go out of their way and take care of veterans that way.
Yeah,
they don't have to.
Right? No, 100%. There's a restaurant here right near me. There's a base near me, and I overheard one time these guys came in for lunch. They're in uniform. I told them thanks, and I overheard them chatting. They gave them a military discount, and it was like 25% of their bill.
Wow!
And I was like, man, that is awesome. Like, and it just makes me want to go to that restaurant all the more to keep paying, full price, so that way they can get 25% off.
Yeah, definitely support businesses and organizations like that. I'm gonna go off on a different tangent here real quick, because this is something that I don't understand why this hasn't happened yet. So they have a cigar, Winston Churchill, right? Right, name after. Why haven't a cigar company pick up Richard Overton's name yet?
I don't know.
Richard Overton, World War II vet, Tuskegee Airman. He lived to like 111, 110,
something like that.
Well, over 100. We can agree that it's over 100 without doing research. It's definitely over 100. And I remember the article in Cigar Aficionado says he wakes up in the morning, enjoys a cigar and a drink. I'm pretty sure it was whiskey. What cigar companies out there? All of you, someone, please, I'm begging, make a cigar after this guy. Make a cigar just as popular for this guy as Winston Churchill. Well, probably won't be as popular because Winston Churchill been around for a long time. This cigar been around for a long time. But Richard Overton, World War II vet, Tuskegee Airman. Let's get a cigar named after this guy.
I would agree. I'd also caveat and say Grant. Why has nobody picked up a Ulysses S. Grant? Or maybe there is one.
I think there is one for Grant.
Okay.
I think there's one for Grant. I don't think it's very popular, but either way, I'm pretty confident there's one for Grant.
Yeah. I'll say that dude is a prolific cigar smoker. Well documented. Yes. But yeah, Richard Overton, I'm down. Somebody make it, send it to us. We will talk about it on air. happily and spread the good word of Richard Overton. I will do research on his biography and tell you all about this dude, because being a Tuskegee Airman and the time that they had to do their things, I'm sure you've seen the movie Red Tails.
Of course.
Both versions. It was not easy for those guys. Facing the racism and everything else, and nobody wanted to fly with them, and then they finally actually getting the just deserves that they got, and the assignments that they earned, and never losing a bomber in World War II. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? My goodness, flying a plane alone is hard enough, but to never lose a bomber as being a fighter escort, my goodness, especially because I'll say it, Germany had some damn good pilots. It's true. They did. They had more aces in the war than we did. And an ace is somebody who killed more than 3 people during a flight. I
did not know that. Thank you for sharing that.
That was what was considered an ace, is you got 3 or more kills during a flight. They had more aces than we did because they had less pilots and less equipment than we did. And to never lose a bomber to those guys is impressive.
So you're smoking the All Saints, which it took a veteran to push Mickey Pegg forward.
Yep.
Because, he probably had the vision. Like, come on, Mickey Pegg, you can do this, homie. I don't know. No,
man, you can do it. Let's do it. What if we did this, this, and this? Right? Because veterans are all about making the mission happen.
Oh, always. That's what, like, these veteran-owned companies, these companies who hire veterans, I don't think they realize what they're actually getting.
Yeah.
Not every veteran is fucking amazing. I'm gonna go ahead and say that. Some need help, but majority than not, you're gonna get someone that's gonna be always punctual. Bottom line, that's gonna happen. To someone that can listen and follow directions. Those are the 2 minimum things you would get from a veteran. Everything else is going to be bonus, but those are the 2 minimum qualities.
Well, like Black Rifle Coffee Company, that's a veteran-owned coffee company, and that has blown up over the last 3 years.
Yeah, I drink them. I know you do.
I drink the crap out of it. And they're starting to become everywhere. And this is a veteran-owned company who employs almost exclusively veterans. I don't want to say that they're exclusive, but they employ a lot of veterans, both disabled and otherwise. And they're just enjoying the success of putting in the work.
That's bottom line. That's what do you do? I put in work.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I make it happen.
What do you do? Yeah, I drink your coffee
happily, and it's good coffee too.
Well, of course, they wouldn't blow up if it wasn't good coffee.
Well, yeah, I mean, like Starbucks is like if you ever have Starbucks and you just have their black coffee, just take their coffee and drink it black. It's shit. It is. I will say it is shit.
Well, there goes that endorsement.
I don't care. Give me an endorsement by Black Rifle Coffee Company any day over Starbucks. 100% of the time, I will drink their coffee on air. 100% of the time, every time. Give me an endorsement. But Starbucks coffee is not good. That's why everyone gets this mocha frappa soy milk bullshit.
Caramel macchiato.
Yeah, whatever.
Upside down hot.
It's the I could drink Black Rifle coffee black every single time and not whine, complain about the taste at all. It's not bitter, it's smooth, it's good.
Well, I do not disagree with you, sir. I think they even have like cans of coffee now. It'd be nice to see. Maybe they already have one, a brick and mortar somewhere where you.
They do.
Like, you can
they do
drive through. Yeah,
they have several of them. So there's one outside of Fort Campbell in Virginia. that I drove past, and then there was one down in Florida where I used to live, over in Niceville. And I know they have
really?
more, I know they have more stores. But these places, I walked in and I was blown away by the amount of shirts, ground coffee, whole bean coffee, the coffee they served, the food that they served, the atmosphere that was in there. It was so welcoming. Everybody looked like they had a great time, and it was awesome to just walk up and they were the nicest people I could have ever asked to meet.
Okay. Your cigar you smoking? I know we're not too far along in it, but you should be at least your first third by now.
This one's an interesting one because it's smooth, and it's hard to get flavor notes out of it, but it's chocolate, a cinnamon, and maybe like a coffee or a mocha or something.
All right, that's good.
There's a sweetness there. Caramel.
You'll get me every time with that one, sir.
It's hard. The caramel is so smooth and like it's so subtle. It's hard to pick up. You know?
Yeah.
That's what it is. Oh, this is good. This is a good cigar.
Oh, that's good. My cigar was created to honor the 4 generations of Blancos and Plasencia. Yeah. They never settle for mediocrity. Yeah, I guess Blancos and Plasencia are cousins.
Okay.
I don't guess. Let me take the word guess out of that. They're cousins somewhere down the line, and that's kind of how they got their hookup. But if I had to say anything about this cigar, I would go sweet. Well, the natural sweetness of the tobacco. Sweet leather and cedar. Cedar
Nice.
on that back end.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I hate to say this out loud, but unfortunately, it does not pair too well with this XO.
Oh.
It actually might do better with something a little lighter because they're like conflicting. Maybe a Henny White, or maybe just a regular VS.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Something that doesn't pair well with Hennessy.
Yeah, I would definitely have to. This Hennessy. Don't get it twisted. This Hennessy. I have to try it with other Hennessy's.
Are you saying that all Hennessy's are not the same?
Oh my goodness, you're lucky you're in a different state.
Dice, are you telling me that Hennessy's, not all Hennessy's are created equal?
I'm 100% telling you. That's like comparing Redbreast to Jim Beam.
That's almost sacrilege, but all right, I'll give it to you.
Well, this is Redbreast. The XO is like Redbreast, and VS, I guess, would be in the category of like Jim Beam.
Jack Daniels?
Jack Daniels. Jim Beam? Jim Beam is a bourbon. Jack Daniels is a whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. Clearly, I don't drink either of those.
Clearly, you have not expanded your horizons.
I'm kind of old school when it comes to that. Hard-nosed, old school.
You know what? I'm coming down there. Like I said, I'll be there for TPE. We're going to get a bottle of Redbreast. So I'm going to make you drink some.
You're going to make me drink something different?
100%.
All right. Challenge accepted.
You got a funnel in your house?
Not at all. My house is funnel free, sir.
I guess we're buying a funnel as well then, motherfucker.
Oh my goodness. All right, I'm gonna throw another pitch out there for these cigar companies. And you know what? I don't even want a percentage. Just send me a free cigar if you actually do this. So a veteran-owned company releasing a limited edition veteran cigar and naming that cigar 11-11-11.
Oh, that would be so good.
Right?
That'd be a good one. I like that one.
I mean, they have the firecracker just for 4th of July, right? Every year, firecracker, 4th of July, firecracker. So every year you can do the same thing, 11-11-11.
So would it be a Lancero?
How many people you know smoke Lanceros?
I'm just asking because a firecracker is short, thicker, and it's usually got a little bit of spice or something like a firecracker. But if you're going to do an 11-11-11, I almost feel like you need to make it 11 inches. And the only way to make it 11 inches and still smokable in a timely manner would be to make it a Lancero.
I see where you went there.
You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. Maybe, how about a Churchill?
All right, I give it to it. I'd take that.
Actually, when you first said Lancero for the cigar, that my thought process went to a torpedo.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you're going to go 11-11-11, which would be, great as long as the cigar is good. I'd almost think you'd have to do something along those lines with the size.
Make it like a camo barber pole.
Yeah, well, because like the firecracker, right? It has that fuse on the end.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do an 11-11-11 for Veterans Day, either make it a sort of a Lancero that's like 11 inches long, but like a 20 or a 30 ring gauge. Because you're not going to get an 11 ring gauge.
No, that's silly.
Yeah. So, I'd say 11 inches, right? It's an 11-inch cigar for an 11-11-11.
Damn, I can already see the sales pitch for that.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Put a camo band, slap a camo band on it, and call it a day. Done. Again, we require cigars for these ideas. Don't steal our shit.
It's timestamp, so if it comes out after this, just saying, I'm gonna have my people call your people.
Just send us cigars.
I have to get people.
You know who you should hire for that? A veteran lawyer. That'd be the way to go. Be like, hey, come on now.
Yeah. All right. In all seriousness, though, salute to any of the 4 veterans, 4 different groups.
Yeah.
Salute to you guys out there. Thank you and appreciate everything that you guys done, the sacrifices and everything that was made. And I appreciate you.
Yep. And salute to the ones just coming in and joining the armed forces. And thank you for what you're going to do throughout your career or whatever service commitment you have. Look forward to seeing the great things that you guys do and keeping us safe. Until next time, my name's Austin.
I'm gonna stay dice.
And remember, great leaders smoke great cigars.
Thank you for listening to Leadership of the Leaf. The comments and opinions expressed by the host and guests does not reflect the opinions of those that broadcast this show, nor does it reflect any of our affiliates.